Hi, thanks for joining us. We've got Dominic Mandato with us from Investplus Properties Canada Limited today. And Dominic, do you mind telling us what Investplus Properties looks for before they buy a multifamily building?
Sure thing, Chris. You know, when we're buying multifamilies, we've been doing this for such a long time that we've really developed a criteria. And we really narrowed it down to 7 things that we look for, not one specific, but 7. And this is our criteria. Number 1 is location. Where is it located? Our criteria really is, depending on where the location is, will really determine whether we're going to buy or not. We buy in large centers in major cities like Toronto, like Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver. That's number 1. That's our criteria in terms of location. 2 is the number of doors. How many doors do you buy? We typically buy between 20 to up to 100 doors under one roof, and then also suite mix. Suite mix will determine also whether we're going to go ahead and purchase it or not. But this will also depend a little bit on location. And so when you look at all these criteria, really we look at the entire picture before we actually make a decision. And suite mix, from our standpoint, generally speaking, we'd like for suite mix to be 40 to 50% 2 bedrooms, and everything else can be, and the rest could be 1s and 3s, and bachelors in some cases. Cost per door, of course, we got to look at the bottom line of what this building is going to cost. We also look at cap rate, how the building is performing based on its value and the rental income that it's producing. Those are some of the things that we're looking for. We're looking at operating expenses. Generally speaking, typical buildings that we're buying, operating expenses range between 40 to 45%. If it's anything above that, typically there's something causing that, and that might be an opportunity where you can actually profit from that. And lastly is cost per square foot. So based on what we buy typically in a given year, we'll know what our cost per square foot is, and we'll typically look at what the rent per in dollars that we can get for that area will determine whether the building that we buy is a good deal or not. And so over time, we've developed this criteria, and a lot of people ask us, what cap rate do you buy at, or what price per door? And really, it's a combination of all of these 7 items. So before we actually put an offer in a building, we look at each one of these first, and then within about 15 or 30 seconds, we're going to be putting in an offer if we think it's a good deal.
That's excellent information, Dominic. Now, if someone wants to get a hold of you at Investplus Properties, how can they reach you?
Well, there's 2 ways, Chris. They can call us at our toll-free number at 877-663-8772, or they can log on to the internet and visit us at investplusproperties.com.
Dominic, thanks a lot for sharing that information today.
Thank you, Chris.